and welcome to another episode of Recipe for Conversation. I hope you guys are enjoying these shows. It's a lot of work bringing them to you, but it's so rewarding because I think the people that I sit down with have amazing stories, and I'm trying my best to get these wonderful people to all of you so you guys can be inspired by their stories. So today, I have a wonderful, beautiful boss chick with me today, Miss Shani Scott. Hello, beautiful.
Hello, beautiful to you.
How are you, Shani? How are you today?
I'm good. It's a beautiful day in Dallas Fort Worth. Hey, can't complain. Everything's
It's a
good.
beautiful day, a hot, beautiful day in Dallas.
Yes, yes, very much so. Yes.
So, everyone, this is Shani Scott, the amazing Shani Scott, the lady that's behind the scenes who does all the work and puts everything together to bring things to you and present them in a wonderful and beautiful way on all kind of digital platforms. Shani, was that good?
Yeah, I'm
this
feeling really good right now.
This beautiful lady, this amazing, beautiful lady, has over 24 years of experience in the broadcasting industry. She's worked in all type of platforms within media. She's done TV. She's done what? Act. She's an actress. She's done commercials. She does radio. Shani, am I leaving out anything other outside of that?
I don't think so. You're doing
Okay,
a pretty good
so
job.
she is a media powerhouse. The girl has done everything, sat in every seat. She's been a producer for shows. She's been in public affairs. She's been an announcer. She's been on the radio. She's worked for Radio One. She worked for the Doug Banks Show. Shani has done it all. Welcome, Shani. Welcome today to this episode of Recipe for Conversation. Today, Miss Scott, you are the recipe that we will
Thank
be
you.
discussing.
Thank you.
So let's talk, Shani. Let's talk. Like, give me a little bit about, okay, 24 years of experience in broadcasting in the industry. How did you get started, Shani?
Well, I got started in radio when I was 17.
Wow.
I'm coming up on my 27-year anniversary. It's coming in October. Oh, we are in
Mm-hmm.
October, so it's here. Okay. And when I was about 3 years old, that's when I fell in love with radio. Tom Joyner used to come on every morning here in Dallas with Cindy B, Hollywood Hernandez, Dr. Rock, and I would listen to them every morning when I got dressed to go to school. I was in love. And after that, it was, all radio. You could take my phone away. You could take not the cell phone, because of course we didn't have it, but I had a phone as I grew up in my room. You could take the TV away, no problem. If you took my radio away, I had a problem. Because
Okay. Wow.
I was the one that would, the TV might be on, but it'd be turned down because I was listening to the radio.
Wow. And how old were you, Shani?
This started when I was 4.
So how did it take off for you?
When I graduated high school, I did go to college. It wasn't what I wanted to do, but I had to do it because I come from a mother who is an HBCU product. She has her bachelor's from TSU, Texas Southern, and she received her master's degree from Prairie View A&M. So it was like, okay, you got to go to college. And I didn't want to go. I wanted to go to the military, actually.
Oh,
And she
okay.
was like, nope, you got to go to college. Went on to Oklahoma City University, and they have a good communications department. And in my freshman year, I was 17. I graduated high school. I was 17. Went on to college, and I asked my counselor there if I could do an internship because I was ready to start working. I
Mm-hmm.
was on campus. I was always selected to be the talent for everybody's projects. So if they needed a talent for their show, whether it was a television show or if it was a film, they always asked me, hey, can you be the lead for us? So I was like, well, you know what? I need to be getting paid for this and not just a grade at 17.
I know that's right. At 17.
At
Boss chick. I
17.
told y'all, boss chick. She's a boss chick.
And so I went to my counselor and I said, hey, can I sign up for an internship? And she looked at my schedule and she said, no. She said, you're a freshman. She said, no, you can't do that to your junior year. You're going to have to wait. And I said, but no, this is what I want to do. I can do it. I have time. And she was like, look, you're enrolled in 18 hours, plus you do work study. When are you going to have time to do an internship? No doesn't resonate well with me when you're telling me what I can and can't do. Telling me
Okay.
no, if you really want me to do it, tell me I can't do it. Because now I got to show you I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. I went down the street to the black owned radio station, which was KVSP. It's still there. At the time, it was on AM frequency. It wasn't an FM station. And I talked to them and asked them if I could come in and do an intern. I told them I go to school to Oklahoma City University, but I'm looking for internship opportunities. And they gave me an internship. Me in school just didn't work. I wanted to work. My thing was, okay, in this business, I'm making more than my professors. Why do I need to go to school? For what?
Wow.
Why am I
Okay.
paying them to teach me what I'm not going to do on the job?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I paying them to teach me some stuff that when I graduate, the only thing somebody will give me is an internship? I can't even walk in and get in the job because I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, what they're teaching us in school is not what we do on the job. It is
Gotcha.
not what we do on the job. You have to be trained all over again. So we're spending all of this money for the professor just to feel good. Me personally, I couldn't wrap my mind around it, and I couldn't make any sense of why I needed to be in school. Then eventually, I moved back to Dallas, just because of the decision that I made, and I went
Mhm.
and worked at the Dallas Morning News as a sports agate, and then I was a sports reporter for another newspaper here, and I became a promotions director of a gospel radio station that's here in Dallas. So
So
I
you
was
never
like,
slow down.
oh,
So you never slow down.
never.
So out of all the seats that you've sat in, Shani, out of all the jobs that you've done, like, so you've done acting, you've done all of that. So did you like acting? Did you were you really heavily involved in that? I know I saw that you even done some stuff with TMZ. That you've even been like, uh, well, I don't want to say anchor. What do you call the people who do?
Correspondent. Yeah,
There you go. You
correspondent.
were a correspondent for TMZ. Like I'm just like, there's nothing you haven't done. So let's talk about the acting piece of what you do. Do you like doing the acting?
I do, however, with younger, I liked it better. I was open to more roles. Now I have two daughters, so I
Mm-hmm.
consider everything. My best, I would say, my most memorable role. You can go see me in Any Given Sunday. I was a cheerleader in Any Given Sunday. So yes, I was about 80 pounds lighter and slimmer.
That's okay. That's okay.
Before kids, I was all of a size zero. Um,
I've never
and
seen that, but okay.
I enjoyed that experience. They considered us extras, but I did enjoy that experience of being able to work with Oliver Stone, Al Pacino, because you actually got the opportunity. Well, I actually got the opportunity to speak with them and talk to them and ask
Oh,
questions.
okay.
But that's me. That's what I did. There were some other
Right.
things going on the set as well that I didn't, participate in. But yeah, but
Wow. Okay. So 24 years, you're a woman in the industry. What advice or what lessons have you learned, and what advice would you give another woman who's trying to break into the industry, who's currently in the industry? Like, what advice with the things that you've learned along the way would you give another woman coming into the industry?
well, there are three things that I tell any young lady or woman that wants to be in this industry. I tell you, listen, they trying to F you, F over you, or get you the F out of the way. You receive that a little bit differently because
Right.
it's serious,
Right.
you
It's
know.
straight to the point.
Yeah, because they're gonna
Right.
tell you, "Oh, you so pretty. You the most beautiful woman here. Oh, you're the smartest one that every one of them gonna tell you the best thing since sliced bread. Know that you are, know that you are,
Mhm.
but understand what
Mhm.
their game is and why they're saying that. I didn't meet men that actually respected me as a whole person in the industry that were over me until 2000. I would say it was 2019.
Wow.
That was last year,
Wow.
and this is year 27. So I had to get to year 26. I take that back. There is one
Wow.
person that I met at the Dallas Morning News. Mark Stein was our sports. He was our NBA writer, and he
Mhm.
helped me as I was learning how to write for the other paper. And he
Mhm.
respected me as a person, as a young one. He looked at me as a little sister. Uh,
Mhm.
no issues there. But anybody else, it was always an issue. It was always an issue.
Gotcha. Gotcha. With all the people that you've met within the industry, artists, people you've worked for, you are a phenomenal PR person. You do a lot of work behind the scenes for people. Who has been your favorite client or your favorite person that you've met industry wise?
Oh wow. Um, but my favorite person I met, I
Come
don't know if
on,
I
come
really
on.
want to say. Um,
You can give me
because then
your
the
you
other ones are gonna be like, what?
well, you can say I don't have any favorites, but well, who are the
This is
some
what I'll say. The clients that I enjoy working with the most are the clients that I always learn something from
oh that's good.
when I
That's good.
every time I interact with them. I have some clients that it doesn't matter if they're just calling me to say, "Hey, Shani, how you doing today?" And that's all the call was about. But before I hang up the phone, they always leave me with some jewel, and they don't realize they're doing it, but they leave me with something to help me get to the next step, get over the next bridge, to push my A game up just that much more. Those are my
Mhm.
favorite ones. I'll
Can
say it
you
like that.
name drop any names of clients that we might be like, whoa, that you've worked with, or that can you name drop anybody?
Um,
Oh,
well, my clients, I don't name them.
okay.
I won't name them. And when I'm working with them, I won't show them. I won't say, "Oh, I did this for Antoinette," because the issue with that is I don't need client A getting confused with client B, because what I do for client A might not work for client B, and what I
Gotcha.
have for client A might not be what client B needs. So I don't like them to get like, "Oh, well, you made that for him, so make that for me." No, you don't need that, because and so sometimes that conversation has to go. You're not at that level yet, so, or you don't pay me enough for that. Are you ready to
Mhm.
go up on your feet? But at the end of the day, I want to give them, my clients that I book for, I want to make sure that they're getting everything that they need, not just a cookie cutter. Okay, if you click here, then this will happen. No, we want to be specific to what your needs are, because that's how I can be successful in booking you or
So
creating a
so
PR
when
campaign.
so when you say meet their needs, what capacity are you functioning in for them? Because you wear so many hats. So what hat are you wearing at that time?
Um, Most people come to me to be their booking agent. So, and most
Okay.
artists will come to me and say, "Hey, will you be my manager?" I don't manage people. I do not
Okay.
manage people. Well, let me say it like this: I don't manage grown people, because it's hard to manage grown people. Because grown people don't want to listen to another grown person telling them, "Hey,
Mhm.
this is what you need to do." So we go to a booking agent. I'm your booking agent. You tell me what it is you want to do. What type of audiences do you want to get in front of? And with that, even though I'm booking them for speaking engagements, there is still some PR that has to happen with that.
Hmm.
I had to tell someone recently, okay, I understand that you want to be a public speaker, but do you know I have nothing to work with to get you in front of anybody? I
Hmm.
need we have to have electronic press kit send out. I need your social media to be popping because that matters. That
Right.
matters. You know, I need to see you doing something in the community. Why should I, when I go to IBM and say, hey, you should have this person come speak at your annual whatever? Why? It's an education process. So if I go into it as their booking manager, then they understand my job is to get you booked. But to get you booked, this is what we have to have in place.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Wow, Shani, you are an amazing woman. I'm exhausted listening to you, right? Because that is so not my area. I'm one of the ones who's like, look, take it, manage it, please work it all together for me. I just want to show up.
Yeah.
So it's awesome that you have that skill set because I'm the total opposite. That behind the scenes thing is a lot harder than what people think. So
Yep.
I ask everybody, I'm segueing here. I ask everybody who sits down with me about their favorite dessert because I am a baker, and the show is recipe conversation, so it kind of ties into all of that. So, what's one of your favorite desserts, Shadi?
Oh, I have so many. Anything that is chocolate, like we just finished having ice cream and I had chocolate syrup and extra chocolate, everything on it. But chocolate cake, chocolate cupcakes, chocolate chip cookies, anything with chocolate in it, I absolutely love. But you know what? I guess I would have to say my very, very favorite dessert of them all, and I haven't had it in a few years now, is my grandmother's strawberry cake. And that's because she doesn't make it as much anymore. She's 92. I'm sorry,
Wow,
she's 91. She gonna get me. She's 91.
that's
My
beautiful. That's
bad.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that. 91. I would love to sit and talk to her.
Well, she will talk to you. She will. Do you want me to
Okay,
set it
Shani.
up?
So today I'm wearing pink, and you
Yeah.
have on pink, which is awesome for where we're about to go. But
Yes.
I got all of the other stuff out the way. Now we're going to make this interview about you, the substance behind the girl, your ingredients, because we just see this powerful woman up front, but this powerful woman has an even more powerful story that goes along with her. So I'm going to give you this date, May 3rd of 2004. Can we talk about that day that your life kind of took a major shift and a change for you?
Oh wow. Yes. I had a major brain injury. I had a stroke. I experienced a stroke. And doctors said it was due to me bleeding on the brain. They say when I was in delivery with my baby girl, who is 10 now, that I busted a blood vessel and was bleeding on the brain. They didn't know. I was ready to go home. And we got home. And I was so sick. I mean, my feet and legs were swollen so bad. I had a headache that just wouldn't go away. The headache wouldn't stop. And finally, that Sunday night, I couldn't. I was so swollen I couldn't even sleep in the bed. I had to sleep in in a recliner, and I
Oh,
was sleep
wow.
with my baby girl, and the other girl would sleep with her dad in the bedroom. And I was out and in a coma for a while. Um, Long rehab process. When I finally did come to, my vision was gone, and on the left side. Um, I could walk. I couldn't speak in complete sentences. Fast forward, I went to rehab, and I decided in rehab. I made up my mind that the wheelchair's not coming home, the walker's not coming home. I am going to live my life with my kids. And before I got to rehab, I'll go back just to share something that I think is necessary. When I was still in ICU and out, I remember having an experience with God. And I had a conversation with God. I said, listen, and I said it just like that, listen, I need to be here to raise my daughters. I don't want anybody else to raise my daughters. If you let me stay and I can raise my daughters, I'll make sure that they serve you. I'll make sure of that. And I don't know how long after that I woke up, but ever since then, that's what we do. Because
Look at
it's
God.
important to me to put everything into them, not their grandmother or my
Right,
grandmother, or
right.
their dad. You gave them to me, so let me prepare them for you.
Hmm.
And so we went to rehab. I didn't bring the wheelchair home, but I did have to bring the walker. But I don't use a walker now. I go run with my daughters. Like, okay,
Okay, so
this
so
is
the
out of
stroke happened. The stroke happened, but you guys, that's not it. This lady that I'm talking to right now is an amazing fighter. Okay, so she overcame that rehab, started back being the fabulous mom that you are, getting back into
mhm.
life, and then what happened, Shani?
And then I had a heart attack on the air while I was on the air.
On the
Um,
air?
I was on the
Oh
air.
wow.
So I was at the time program director for a station in Tyler, Texas, and I just worked a lot. I mean, it was my focus has always been work, 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 and getting to the next milestone. It was just about achievement. It wasn't about men. It wasn't about things. It was about achievements. There's certain things I want listed next to my name, and I'm
Mhm.
so focused on them that it almost killed me. Leave it like that. So I have to keep the radio on because as program director, I'm listening to the radio all day long.
Right, right,
So
right.
I know if something missed. I know if you added something that you didn't have no business adding. I know if a commercial is. I knew all of that. I studied it that much. So
So you're
much.
not unplugging at all.
Even when I was asleep, my phone was right next. Because by this time I'm divorced, so my phone was. It slept on the pillow next to me. So that particular day, well, my chest had started hurting. Oh, probably in the winter, and I just thought I pulled a muscle because I was working out. Okay, this happened in the spring. So one day it was just hurting, hurting, hurting. And I said, you know what? If it's still hurting, I'll go to the doctor when I get off work. So I get to work, and we had a department head meeting. And in the department head meeting, I couldn't sit down. I was sitting down, but I was uncomfortable. So I kept moving because I'm trying to get comfortable. Don't know why I can't get
Mhm.
comfortable. We finished that. I go in my studio and I said, well, you know what? At lunch, I'll go to the doctor to see what's wrong. But let me record my show because we could pre record it and play it back. So I started recording my show
Oh gosh.
and I hit the button and I said, Hot 1073 J, and just all in the air went out of me. And I was like, okay. And I said, let me turn this off. I put my studio back in order, got my purse. I went to my receptionist. I said, listen, I'm going to go to lunch. If y'all need me, call me. I'll be back. She said, okay. And I drove myself to the ER. And when I told them what happened, they just, swarms of people started coming and they were hooking me up to different things because I was having a heart attack and I didn't
Right,
blow.
right.
And the
Hmm.
doctor was like, he's like, do you smoke? I said, no, sir. Do you drink? No, sir. He said, well, what's the problem? He said, we can't find anything wrong. You don't have any blockage. Everything is fine. He said, the only thing I can think of is that you work too much. And I said, well, okay.
Well,
And okay. He said, I'm going to take you off work for 2 weeks. I said, no, I can't do that. I can't do. I'm in the middle of a ratings period. I said, all I do at work is stand up. It's not a lot. It's not stressful. He said, Miss Scott, it's very stressful. You don't see it, but it is. I said, but
hmm.
you don't understand. I have to do X, Y, and Z. He said, Miss Scott, if you want to go back to work, you can. But I promise you, you're going to be back here with me, and I can't promise you that I'm going to be sending you home. So
Wow.
I said, okay. And I stayed home. And I cried listening to my radio because I was emailing people and telling them what they were doing wrong and what they needed to fix, and nobody
Hmm.
was paying attention to me. And in that moment, that's when I realized, you know what? If I drop dead, they gonna it's gonna keep on going.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But it took all of that for me to be like, okay, now
Have
I
a
understand
heart
what
attack.
you're saying.
Right. So okay, the stroke, the heart attack. But that's not it, you guys. Again, when I tell you this lady that I'm talking to today is an amazing fighter, she's an amazing fighter and she has a wonderful story. So we're wearing pink for a reason today. Shani has the
Yes,
boxing gloves behind her for a reason today.
yes, yes. See the
So the
boxing gloves.
stroke, the heart attack, and then this beautiful lady. What happens next, Shani?
I was diagnosed with breast cancer uh, right before my 40th birthday. Hmm.
Wow.
Yes, and that was the one that just like gut punched me because I'm like, hold up. I am out here living the time of my life. I'm single. I'm going on all these amazing trips. I'm getting ready. I was actually getting ready to cover the Soul Train Music Awards. And
Okay.
that's where I was on my way to. And I found out, and I have the boxing gloves because a beautiful lady by the name of Becky Sigler made those for me. And what's special about Becky, she was one of my listeners in Tyler. I do something called a remote with BMW Tyler. And usually when I'm at BMW Tyler, I have people coming, coming, coming. Well, Becky came by to see me there. And nobody came. It was just Becky and I for the whole hour and a half. And Becky told me that she had got diagnosed with breast cancer before we went on the Vegas trip. And I was like, oh, well, and what they told you could go. And she was like, yeah, they said just go ahead and go on the trip and have a good time. And at the time, she still had her lump in her breast. And I
Mm-hmm.
asked her, I said, Becky, can I touch your lump so I know what it feels like? Do you mind? And she showed me, and it was on the side because the places I was checking was not the place where she showed me. And
Mm-hmm.
I really wouldn't even thought to check there, but once she put my hand where it was, okay, now I understand why you put your hand up to check. So, I felt it. It felt like a tennis ball or a jack ball. We used to play jacks. That's what her lump felt like. And so that was in the summer. So fast forward, my birthday is in November, November 9th, on my way to the Hoodie Awards. I mean, I'm sorry, Soul Train Music Awards. And I find my lump on the top of my breast.
Okay.
So not on the side where hers was, but in the top, and it was really, really small. It felt like a frozen pea is what it felt like. And I just remember going numb, like really this we can't be doing this, God. Now come on now. I done told you I need to be here to raise my kids and this is what I'm getting. But I didn't tell anybody until it was January before I even told
Mm.
somebody because I had to because I had my first lumpectomy and my doctor was like, he said, okay, you got to have somebody come with you to the appointment. I said, nah, I can just get an Uber. he said,
No way.
he said, we cannot put you in an Uber with all that anesthesiologist, whatever, anesthesia in you. I said, well, my family don't need to know. And he was like, you haven't told nobody? I said, no, I haven't told them. I haven't told nobody. And he said, you got to tell somebody. And so I told my mom, and I talked to my girls about it, my daughters, and we went on and we did it. But the one thing I will say about breast cancer and dealing with it, they talk about survivors. Everybody handles it differently, and
Mhm.
I handle it like I was fighting it, like 'cause I'm the type of person I fight the wall if the wall offend me, and with cancer it offended me. And I watch videos from me back then where I'm saying it's one in particular that I did in February where I let everybody know, hey, I have breast cancer, but we're only going to have breast cancer for 1 year. I give cancer 1 year in this body. and after that, we're gonna have to do something else. Now I don't know what something else was,
Hmm.
but
But you spoke that. You spoke that. So that's
you
good
know,
that you were speaking that. Hmm.
yeah, I'm not really sure what that was gonna be, but that's what it was. That's where I was. My doctors. I went through 3 sets of doctors. I was probably one of their hardest patients to deal with because I wouldn't comply with what they wanted. They wanted 20 plus rounds of chemo, 18 rounds of radiation. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. My body can't handle that. I've been through too much. I'm not doing that. And their response was, well, actually, her response, one doctor in particular, I won't say her name because my mom still goes to her. But she's like, well, you're going to die in 4 months. Okay, well, you know what? You're going to die too. You realize that, right? Okay, we're all gonna die, but I'm not gonna die like this. I'm not gonna die
Right.
because of chemo and radiation. That's what I'm not gonna do. And I
Right.
remember asking her. I said, "Well, if I walk out of here and get hit by a car, can you come put the chemo in me and it brings me back to life?" And since your answer is no, I'm not doing that. And I
Right.
didn't. I chose to do the natural way. I changed how I was eating. I incorporated some different exotic fruits into my diet, and
Hmm.
I prayed and I meditated on it, and I just claimed that we're not gonna have cancer. Cancer can't live
Wow.
here. Too much that I have to do. And December, I can't even remember the date now, but December of 2017, hey, I had my double mastectomy and no more cancer. Not I'm in remission,
Ah,
because I don't
yes.
know what that means. I don't have
Hmm.
cancer and it's not coming back.
Now, how long has that been now that you're cancer free? How long has that been for you?
December 2017.
17. Okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that is a blessing. I am just happy that you are here, that I had a chance to meet you, and that God allowed our paths to cross. But I wanted to ask you, that's a lot, Shani.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a lot. What you just said, everything that you've gone through, the stroke, the heart attack, then cancer. Was there ever a time where you asked God, why me?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'd be lying if I said no. I've never asked God. I understand that we go through things for a reason
Mhm.
because
So
I
as a
didn't have
mom, let's talk about as a mom, a single
much.
mom with two girls. You're by yourself. That's a lot. You
Mhm.
are an amazing woman. I probably would have been in the corner rocking some. Like, you are. I don't. Do you realize how amazing you are? Do you know? Like, as a mother, again, you're by yourself. What were your thoughts with that?
As a mom, for me, since especially since I have two girls, it's amazing how God works in our life. The only person that's responsible for what you got to do is you. And I did do a reconstruction where they took the fat from my stomach and reconstructed my breast. And that's not a just like a one surgery. It's like 3 surgeries that you're supposed to have. I only had one, so we had to
Like,
leave.
how many more layers are there to this story, girl? So now
Now when
that you're
that
saying
happens,
that, let me ask you that. Like, since this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and you have women who are just going into their, chemos, and making the decision of whether or not they want to have a double mastectomy, or what advice would you give a woman who's not even just single mothers, but a mom? Because that, regardless, that's something that's happening to your body as a woman. What would you say to another woman who's walking into their journey with cancer, with breast cancer?
I would say make your own decisions. The way I handle it, that might not be the way you need or want to handle it. Um, People are going to be critical of what you decide to do either way. But at the end of the day, you have to be in tune with your body, your mind, and
Mm-hmm.
your soul. And this is the thing. If you make up in your mind that cancer is going to kill you, then get ready to die. Just make sure you got everything
Mm-hmm.
planned out, because some people do make that decision that, okay, I don't want to do this. I don't feel like fighting. And they give up. Okay, and if you are a family member or a friend to someone who has cancer, if maybe they didn't tell you, okay, don't be upset with them because it's a lot to process. When
Mm-hmm.
they give you those words, is especially if it's a person that went by themselves and they don't want anybody to know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a matter of it wasn't that I was just trying to keep this secret, from my family. I didn't really know how to tell them or how to process it because my family just watched me have a stroke. I almost died. Some of them knew about the heart attack. So now I got to go tell them that I got breast cancer.
But this, Shawnee, this wasn't just like you're like, oh, I got another boyfriend. I broke up with my boyfriend. These are major events that are happening in your life. And I think it just like takes me back that you said you basically kind of went through that alone. Of course, your mom was there, your girls were there, but almost like, I think about Chadwick Boseman, how he told no one, only his immediate circle knew, and you said that you didn't really want to be forthcoming and let anybody know that. Why?
So I think sometimes we put so much emphasis on the cancer and what it is instead of just enjoying life and enjoying each other and
That's
enjoying
good.
the moment.
Hmm.
So I didn't want to stress everybody out because I'm used to, handling everything. I got this under control. Well, for me, it changed how I thought. It changed how I looked at the world. It changed my ability to speak up quicker because I will
Hmm.
speak my mind, but sometimes I would kind of think about it. But now, after going through that, because it's real. When the lady told me, in 4 months you could die. Um, it didn't make me stop and say, "Oh my God, I got to get all this stuff in order." But at the same time, I knew what she was saying was a possibility. Not that it
Hmm.
was true, it was a possibility. And
Right,
what I
right.
decided to do on that day was not accept that
You
possibility.
chose life. You chose life. That's good. That's good.
Mhm. And when you
Wow.
we have to make our subconscious catch up with our conscious. Because
Hmm.
see, your conscious mind will tell you what you see. Your subconscious mind usually holds what your dreams are, where you want to get to. So you got to get
Hmm.
that to catch up with this. And
Hmm.
when I do speaking engagements, I time travel with people. I say, hey, we're going to time travel. Let's time travel. I'm really going to take you on a time travel. And I'll have them do an exercise that it takes them on a trip in time. And that's an exercise that you can use to help your subconscious catch up to your conscious. Because anything that you can think can be. If you can see it, it can be.
That's
And
right.
so
That's good. Hmm.
when all we see is if all we focus on is what we see in black and white, and we don't take the time to see our dreams, not just when we're sleeping, we're dreaming them, but when you daydream, see your dreams, see yourself living, see
That's good.
yourself healed, see yourself starting the business, see yourself being a better parent. Whatever that is, you have to make yourself see it. Once you see it, now all you got to do is get to it because that
Y'all
means
hearing this? I hope y'all are grabbing this. Grab this information that she's giving y'all. Go ahead. Keep going, girl. Keep going.
yeah. So with cancer patients, if they are going through it that way, I just say give them their space. Because somebody did ask me, they were like, "You didn't tell anybody?" Well, my cousin found out and she didn't tell us, and we're just like sisters, and I didn't understand why. Like, this is why. It's nothing. It's nothing personal against you. It's what
It's
they're doing.
personal for you. It was personal for you. That's why. Like
Mhm.
it. This was a personal battle only you could fight by yourself. That was you and your body that was in that war together. So it really didn't matter with involving other people or needing other people's opinions. So I think that was really good that you said that because I think like even sometimes like God, I love my mama, but I'll say one thing and she already had me diagnosed, girl. So I understand what you're saying. I'll call. Yeah, that run in the family. You need to go get that checked out.
Mhm. Yeah, and I
So,
actually started getting mammograms in my 20s because
mhm.
they saw I would have some kind of benign mass out of, they do whatever they do with that big old needle. And it's always benign, it's benign. Um,
Mhm.
but what I did want to say about the boxing gloves is that Becky gave me those, my listener.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, she gave me those when she found out I was diagnosed. She actually sent me a box that had those boxing gloves and a whole bunch of t-shirts. And she would always send me these inspirational things through the mail or either on Facebook. And unfortunately, we lost Becky. Her cancer came
Oh,
back. Um, and we lost Becky about 4 weeks ago.
I'm sorry to hear
And
that.
I've always like most of my sets that I've been on. Ever since she gave me those gloves, I always take them and put them on my sets.
Oh, wow. Well, we pray for Becky's family, and and I'm praying for you too. I know that's hard to go through, losing someone, especially that close, and when you guys share something that, tender in common. So I know that had to be a lot, but wow, you have an amazing journey, Shani. Like again, I can't imagine going through half of what you've gone through, and then even with all of this, you're still this, like I said in the beginning, this boss chick that has not slowed down. You're still grinding, you're still getting it done, you're still an awesome mom at the track with your daughter. I love you, and I'm glad we have this relationship. But I'm like, you move around so much, I can never catch you. But I think that's beautiful because I see why now. I see why you're going forward and you're moving and you're not allowing anything to slow down momentum with everything that you've been through. I think that gives you an appreciation for life. It gives you the sense of I treasured this, like because you've been in so many situations where life has been in jeopardy for you. So I get that. Like hearing you talk to me now, it makes everything all make sense, because time is not, life, tomorrow's not promised to any of us. And I see why you are seizing every moment in the time that you are in that moment. And wow. So saying all of that, again, she doesn't slow down, you guys. Shani is still working on phenomenal projects. And let's talk about the one that you're currently working on with Media Room 360. Talk about that,
Yes.
Shani.
Oh yes, Media Room 360 is my baby. It is my company that I started actually in 2018. And it started out as a internet radio station. So we have a studio here in Irving that you can still go do your internet radio show at, called Let's Get It Radio. And then I moved it to Tyler and got a location there, set up an internet radio station there, and a digital room, a video room. And that's when things really started to grow. Um,
Mhm.
and this was at that time that I was engaged to someone that, all of this happened. So to fast forward, me and my daughters, I got my daughters out of Tyler. We came back to Dallas. We lived in a hotel. We lived in a few hotels. And while we were in the hotels, I still kept working on Media Room 360. And I never stopped. And my daughters watched me do it. And then we had the pandemic. And I kept working on Media Room 360. And finally, we got the channel up. We have shows on like this great show. You can have your show on. It is a platform that is free to the viewer. The content creators fund the channel and keep the channel going by paying for their airtime. And my daughters actually work for the company as well. Um, and I have a production director and a production coordinator that I've hired so far. So we have a payroll. Everybody get paid on Friday, you know. So I am really happy and proud of myself with the growth, and I'm happy that um, my daughters got to see it get to this because there were so many nights that they were scared, I was scared, but
Mhm.
what they didn't forget is you never stopped working on it. You kept going. And I said, yeah. And if I would have stopped, where would we be? Where would
Right.
we?
Right. You have some amazing focus, ma'am. You again, your story is so powerful. That's why I had to have you on today. Like I've even learned so much more in this conversation. I'm sitting here thinking that's 3 more shows. I need to get her. We will definitely talk again because you're saying things, and I'm like, oh, we need to sit down and talk about that. We need to talk about that. But again, the day I met you, the energy that you have, I would have never thought that you have the story that you have. And and again, now I get the passion and where it all comes from, and the urgency to get it done, and your attention to detail, and you wanting everything to be done right. And wow, you are, again, you're just an amazing woman, a fighter. And to see you here and to hear your story, I just hope and pray that it encourages another woman, not even a woman, maybe a man, because men go through breast cancer too. So I just hope that in the single moms, people who are doing it and trying to, make it and doing it by themselves, your story is powerful, powerful. Like I'm glad that you chose to sit down with me today to share your truth, that
Mhm.
hopefully it inspires someone else out there. So that's not easy to just lay yourself out there, and I thank you for doing that today. um is there anything else we need to know, like things and projects that you're involved in, that you're doing, that you want to tell the people before we get off? And your social media handles, please give me all those as well. Can you please say those, because I need the
Yes.
people to
So,
follow you.
yes, please follow me at Shani Scott on Facebook. That's for the, I guess, the seasoned people. We not old school. We are seasoned people. On Facebook, on Instagram, you can follow me at Shani Scott on Air, or you can catch me at Media Room 360 on all, at Media Room 360 on all platforms. I do produce an amazing podcast with my big brother, Big Think, who is your classmate, or y'all went to college together at
Oh, you.
Langston University. Yeah, Big Big's Break Room. Make sure you check that out. It is the break room. It's just like your break room at your job. When you come in there, you can talk about anything. The boss is not listening. Nothing is off limits. We can have a
I
conversation
love
about it
that.
there.
I
And
love it.
then you can download my app on your phone. Go to your app store, type in Media Room 360, and you can watch all of our content that we have there. Right now, we are in the process of building, so we're building content, but you can see this show, Recipe for Conversations, there. Antoinette already has some other episodes on the channel, so make sure you follow to support her as well. And the last thing I wanted to say was, I think you're amazing because um, when I met you, it was crazy because I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to do all that, and then you didn't know that you was coming to all of that. But
Mhm.
I will say this about you in your show: uh, out of most of the people that I've worked with, you are the most organized, and to not have a media background and come into it the way that you have, you are nothing but professional, top notch. You should really think highly of yourself in your show. um you think out everything. Like, I watch your shows and I listen to you interview. I would never know that you didn't have a media background, so you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Oh, that means so much. Thank you so much. And again, I'm honored that you sat down with me today. I needed your story. I knew it was powerful, but you unpacked some stuff, girl, and it was a lot more than I knew. But I'm just honored and thankful and grateful that you shared your truth and your story with us today. And I just pray that it inspires someone else out there to be
Yes.
great and to continue to fight, and to know that adversity happens, but you can
Yep.
press through and you have to keep going. So today, Shani Scott, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to make you the recipe for conversation. Thank you so much. It was an honor.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. She was powerful, wasn't she? That girl right there. That was a way to have a show. Now, Miss Scott, story, it's an amazing story, okay? And I hope that her story inspired all of you out there to just continue to go and continue to fight and continue to live your best life. You guys, her story was powerful. I don't know if I could have gone through the things that she's gone through with as much grace as she handled it. I don't know if that could have been me. But again, God knows what each person can handle. But I hope that by Shani bringing her truth to you, by Shani sharing her story and being transparent, that it will help you in your life in some kind of way. So, as you guys see, this is Recipe for Conversation. We get real on this show and we dig deep in the hopes that it will help you in your life. So, join me for more amazing episodes of Recipe for Conversation. Thank you guys. Bye.